All right, so all these attack ones that are required up here, they're all just practice looking things up in the attack matrix, but the Navigator is a little more complicated, and I wanted to demonstrate it. So if you go here, this is the tool, and this is the walkthrough, and I'm going to do the walkthrough, which I just updated because I taught this at a conference and discovered they had changed it again. Everybody in tech has ADD, and they keep changing everything. Anyway, so what you do is you use this thing called Attack Navigator. And you create a new layer, expand this so you can see, and expand more options, because what we want for this project, I'm using Attack version 9 because I wrote this project about a year ago and they've already updated it twice, and you won't be able to find the flags if you use the wrong version. They keep changing it, but that's fine. So now, and the domain is Enterprise, which was the original one. They didn't even have those domains until recently, but Enterprise Attack version 9. So that's what I want. Create a layer like that. Okay, now, this is the list of all the tactics and techniques. So these are things they might want, like privilege escalation, and these are the particular things they might do to achieve privilege escalation, like modify system processes and so on. So now, the first thing we're going to do is search for a particular group. And let me get my, I think I used ATT-29. Yeah, ATT-41, okay. So the first thing you do, and that's why I had to change it because these buttons had moved. These are the only buttons I ever use. Now the rest of them don't matter. The one to find a group and the one to assign a number to a group. So first I find a group here with the search. This thing pops up. You can find techniques, threat groups, software, mitigations, or data sources in principle. And what I want now is a threat group. I want APT41. So there's a lot of threat groups here. But the APT ones are the famous advanced persistent threat ones. I think it's Mandiant that gave them that name. But anyway, I select this one, and see some of them get with a little purple outline. Now to get this to go away, I click the magnifying glass again. So now I want to assign them a number. So I find the paint and go one more to the right. This is the scoring. So I give it a score of 1. And now they turn red, so I can easily see them. And I can click scoring again to make that go away. So now this is what APT41 does. So I'm going to record that by clicking here and giving this tab a name, APT41. And then click here again to make it go away. So now I've made a record. In fact, I should be able to zoom in a bit. There we are. All right, so now I got a nice way to highlight what APT41 does. Now I want to compare it to another group, and the other layer is going to be APT29. So you go up here just like Excel and add another tab, and now I want it to be just the same kind of layer, so make sure you have the same version 9 Enterprise, and create. And now I'm going to search for APT29. So again, that's a group, threat group down here. It was APT29, right? Yeah, okay, good. Could do anything, but anyway, I just chose one where there would be some overlap. Select. Okay, now I've selected it. Now I'm going to give it a color. I'm going to give it a value of 2, so it's different than the other one. And it turns red here, but you'll see why the numbers are important in the next layer. Oh, the name of this one is APT29. So I keep track of what I'm doing, APT29. Okay, and now I'm going to compare them. So I go here, and I create a layer from other layers. So I have to choose the domain and version, and again, it has to be Enterprise version 9. And now, this layer is called A, and this layer is called B, so my expression is A plus B. And that's it. All the rest of it, the default values are fine, and I create. And now I've got what I wanted. I've got the whole story. So these ones have a score of 3, so the green ones are ones that both groups do. The red ones have a score of 1, so those are the ones that only APT41 does. And the yellow ones have a score of 2. Those are the ones only APT29 does. So now I can answer a question like, which persistent mechanism do both groups do, or something like that. And that's what the questions are here. So you have to use this tool to find them. And that's all I wanted to show you. That's Attack Navigator. So let me stop this video. Maybe I'll put it on this video in case. Then I'll talk about what's coming up next. What you should do, when you're done with all these attack things, you're going to have to make Windows and Linux machines. All the stuff we've done before, you haven't had to install anything, you're just using web resources. But in the second half of the class, what we're really going to use is Velociraptor. And you really have to have a Linux machine and a Windows machine to do this. So after you've done those attack projects, make yourself a Windows and Linux machine. You can make them local machines, or you can use cloud machines. Either way is fine. You could put them on the Azure cloud or in a Google cloud or Amazon cloud, anything you want, but Azure will give you a bunch of free credit. And anyway, so try to get those machines running by within the next few weeks, and then you can start doing these other projects. Now there's a bunch of projects here. I'll demonstrate. These are all extra credit. These are just learning how to harvest threat intelligence from the cloud. And I made it extra credit because it's really kind of Linux system administration to set this up. And in practice, I think you'll probably have a commercial tool that does this automatically. So this is not directly as important as these other techniques, but Velociraptor is the tool you're really going to use for instant response. So a lot of these are required. And for that, you really need that Linux and Windows machine. And this is where we'll focus ourselves mostly for the rest of the class, although we'll do some Zeek towards the end. But Velociraptor will be the main tool for the second half of the class. And you really need Linux and Windows machines to get any good out of Velociraptor. Okay, so that's it. Let me stop this recording.